Dear students, welcome to Thyroid Hormone Part 3. Outline of today's lecture. Today we try to understand mechanism, receptor and physiological actions of thyroid hormone. Mechanism of thyroid hormone, derivative of tyrosine amino acid, and location of this thyroid hormone receptor is cell nucleus, and for the action purpose by the peripheral tissue, particularly liver and kidney, convert this thyroxine into triiodothyronine T3, as T3 has 10 to 15 times more affinity than the T4. So before physiological action, T4 converted into T3, and this T3 bind with the thyroid hormone receptor, which are situated in the nucleus or near to the nucleus. Now, basic about the thyroid hormone receptor. This receptor are expressed widely just like growth hormone receptor, but they are more marked, or you can say defined target organs are the liver, heart and brain for thyroid hormone receptor. Now thyroid hormone receptor are two types, A and B. A is located on the chromosome number 17, while B is located on the chromosome number 3. Now this thyroid hormone receptor A further divided into alpha 1 and alpha 2, and thyroid hormone receptor B further divided into beta 1 and beta 2. Now this thyroid receptor alpha 1, they are mainly situated in the cardiac and skeletal muscle. This is the site where alpha 1 receptors are present. Alpha 2 receptor, which are broadly, they are widely expressed, but they cannot bind with the thyroid hormone. Much less is known about this. Now third, beta 1 receptor, B4 brain, which is situated in the brain, liver and kidney, right? And beta 2 receptor, which are situated in the hypothalamus, pituitary, cochlea and retina. So alpha 1 cardiac and skeletal, beta 1 brain, liver and kidney, which are the main target organ for the thyroid hormone, right? And beta 2, that is the hypothalamus, pituitary, that means related with the regulation, hypothalamus, pituitary, and also in the cochlea and retina. Now the physiological action, it is of two types, non-genomic action and genomic action. Non-genomic action are very quick, which are started almost immediately or within few minutes. There is no need for new protein synthesis or nuclear transcription, so they start immediately. These are called the non-genomic action, and this non-genomic action for the thyroid hormone is mainly on the heart, pituitary and adipose tissue. Heart, pituitary and adipose tissue. On this tissue or on this organ, non-genomic action is there. Genomic action, we are already familiar with the genomic action. It is binding of this hormone with the receptor, receptor activation, modification of the receptor, and nuclear transcription, translation, new protein synthesis. So this is all the genomic action which take some time. These are not quick, these are not in minute, these are the action which take more time. So these are the genomic action. So thyroid hormone having two type of action, non-genomic action and genomic action. Non-genomic is mainly on the heart, pituitary and adipose tissue. Rest of the tissue or organ, there is genomic action. Now the basic function of the thyroid hormone. Now thyroid hormone is just like growth hormone. Physiological action is on the almost all the organ or the tissue and whole body. So first of all, action on the basal metabolic rate. So overall, thyroid hormone increases basal metabolic rate of all the cell of the body. Though it is not always true. Many a time it suppress metabolic activity in pituitary, decrease BMR in most of the region of brain, but we try to remember in general there is increase in the basal metabolic rate. It increase oxygen consumption in whole body. It increase BMR, and as a result of high BMR, more heat is generated. It increase rate and utilization of food, and all the enzyme machinery required for this is also increases. So it also increases sodium potassium ATPase pump in whole body. It increases ATP, and vitamin deficiency will be there, because when there is a high BMR, more and more vitamins which are the coenzyme for the many processes, so they are overused and there is a vitamin deficiency. Next and very important, on the mitochondria, number of the mitochondria, activity of the mitochondria, as well as surface area of the mitochondria is increased. So this is the first and very important action of thyroid hormone on the basal metabolic rate. Now second is on the growth. Now for the growth, thyroid hormone is essential. It do growth and development of the fetus and children particularly. So it is more important mainly during childhood growth. So it stimulate growth hormone and IGF-1 during childhood and during puberty. IGF-1. So as a result, the overall growth is enhanced, It also helps in the differentiation of tissue. It promote endochondrial ossification, linear bone growth, and thus bone lengthening. It is also essential for progression of tooth development and eruption. So development of tooth and eruption. It's very, very important. It is also essential for the growth and maturation of epidermis, skin, hair follicle, and nail integumentary system. And last, fetal and postnatal brain growth. So very, very important. Fetal and early postnatal brain growth is due to thyroid hormone. So overall, thyroid hormone is essential for growth and development of the fetus and during childhood period particularly. Third one is central nervous system. In the central nervous system, in single sentence we can say it regulates brain development, right? It is mainly concerned with the myelination during early period after the birth up to 1 year 2 year of life. It do formation of synapse, axon, dendrites. It is necessary for learning and memory process. It is also necessary for normal emotional responsiveness, cerebral and sensory activity, response to spatial stimuli like auditory sense, hunger sense, right? Alertness, speed and amplitude of reflex is related with this thyroid hormone. So it is very important. Fourth one on the metabolic effect, mainly on the glucose metabolism. It increase blood glucose absorption from the GIT, increase glycogenesis, increase glycolysis, increase gluconeogenesis. So increase all the aspect of glucose metabolism. On the fat, lipolysis and lipogenesis, but lipolysis is more marked than lipogenesis. Another point on the fat metabolism, it decreases triglyceride, cholesterol, and phospholipid. It do excretion of all these things, all these substance in bile. Actually, there is a increase in the low density lipoprotein receptor in the liver, and this triglyceride, cholesterol, and phospholipid are excreted in the bile. Now the protein metabolism. It do protein degradation, somewhat synthesis is also there, but mainly catabolic effect. It promote muscle catabolism and skeletal muscle energy expenditure in the adult is increased. It also releases muscle amino acid, protein degradation, and to a lesser extent protein synthesis that I mentioned earlier. So this is about the metabolism, carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. Now the effect on the endocrine system. Thyroid hormone in a single line, we can say it has permissive role. It control the secretions of other endocrine gland. It suppresses TSH and TRH due to negative feedback mechanism. Particularly, it increases insulin, mainly glucose metabolism. It also increases parathyroid hormone, mainly bone formation, and it also increases steroid hormone level, glucocorticoids. So this is about the endocrine system. Now in the cardiovascular system, it increases heart rate, force of contraction, stroke volume is increases, and thus there is increase in the cardiac output. It slightly increases the systolic blood pressure 10 to 15 mmHg, but simultaneously there is a decrease in the diastolic blood pressure. There is a vasodilatation. There is a vasodilatation. That's why there is a decrease in the peripheral resistance and there is a decrease in the diastolic blood pressure. Vasodilatation is necessary to increase blood flow to the skin to remove the heat which is generated because of high basal metabolic rate. Now next on the respiratory system, simply you can say it increases rate and depth of respiration. It also increases respiratory minute ventilation. Appropriate respiratory response to the hypoxia and hypercapnia. Appropriate respiratory response to the hypoxia and hypercapnia means to maintain normal arterial PO2. To maintain normal arterial PO2, particularly when there is an increased oxygen utilization, and it also maintain normal PCO2 when CO2 production is high. So it maintain normal arterial PO2 and PCO2. So in brief, it stimulate the respiratory system. Next is blood. In blood, it stimulate erythropoietin production. So increase RBC production, erythropoiesis is stimulated. So this is the effect on the blood. Next is the reproductive system, right? So overall, it increases hepatic synthesis and release of sex hormone binding globulin for male as well as female. Increase hepatic synthesis and release of sex hormone binding globulin. In male, process of spermatogenesis is maintained because of euthyroid level of due to normal thyroid level. In female reproductive system, we can say normal ovarian cycle of follicular development, maturation and ovulation, that is because of normal thyroid level. It also maintain healthy pregnant state. That's why during pregnancy gynecologists do thyroid function test once, because if there is a abnormal thyroid function, it's difficult to carry pregnancy. So normal ovulation, maturation and ovulation and healthy pregnancy state is because of normal thyroid hormone level. Next is on the gastrointestinal tract. We can say normal maturation of small intestine, proliferation of intestinal epithelial cell is because of thyroid hormone. It also increases the appetite and food intake. It increases GI motility, secretion and absorption. So all the aspect of gastrointestinal tract like GI motility, secretion, absorption, food intake are increased because of thyroid hormone. Now on the sleep, normal 6 to 8 hours of sleep is maintained because of thyroid hormone level. Now next on the kidney. Kidney increase nitrogen and creatine excretion. So increase nitrogen and creatine loss by the kidney. So these are the main important functions of thyroid hormone. The another functions of the thyroid hormone, carotenemia. Actually, carotene converted into vitamin A in the liver in presence of thyroid hormone. So now when thyroid hormone is deficit, this carotene cannot converted into vitamin A in the liver, so there is a carotenemia, that is yellowish tint of skin similar to the jaundice. Now how to differentiate between jaundice and carotenemia? In jaundice, when you do clinical examination of sclera, unexposed sclera is yellow in jaundice, but in carotenemia sclera is not yellow. So that is the differential point for the carotenemia and jaundice. Next is the on the autonomic nervous system. Thyroid hormone has synergistic effect which increases basal metabolic rate, increase heart rate, heat production, motor activity and excitatory effect on the central nervous system with catecholamines. So it has synergistic effect with the catecholamines. And next function is on the mammary gland. It increase output and fat content of the milk. So fat content and output of the milk is increased. Now the last, brown fat thermogenesis. Try to understand this word, brown fat thermogenesis. Actually, brown fat express uncoupling protein 1, that is shortly known as UCP1. Another name is thermogenin, which is under control of the thyroid hormone, which is usually stimulated by thyroid hormone, and thus it stimulates brown fat thermogenesis. So these are the functions of the thyroid hormone. And lastly, I want to point the activity of the thyroid gland varies at different age, especially in female. Their activity increases during puberty, menstruation, pregnancy, and lactation in the female. But after menopause, the atrophy of this gland starts. So it is not like that. Thyroid hormone is continuous throughout whole life in the female. During various stages of the life, particularly during puberty, menstruation, pregnancy, lactation, where requirement of the thyroid hormone is high, or we can say thyroid gland is much more active. But after menopause, almost there is no function related to the menstrual cycle or puberty or any pregnancy related. So gradually gland atrophies. This is from today's lecture, function of thyroid hormone, very basic and very simple. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan to all the students.